Awesome. Well, I guess. Oh. Well, welcome everybody to the next episode of Goat Talk. I know it's been a while since we've had one of these things, but we've had a lot of changes during the off season. I can tell you it's been one of the busiest off seasons, shortest off seasons Goat Locker Racing's ever had. So we've got a lot of things to talk about here tonight. We'll talk through a lot of the nonprofit news, what's happening with Goat Locker Racing, the nonprofit entity. I know a lot of guys are tuned in tonight to learn more about what's coming up for the season, the racing, all those different types of things. But we do want to focus a little bit of time on the nonprofit and just well, Jamie, some like huge news that happened today.
Uh,
Uh,
well, has it ended? I mean, it
no,
keeps coming. It,
no,
every time we turn
we
around,
got
it keeps
another
coming.
text message right before we got on this thing from a NASCAR driver. So yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff to talk about. But yeah, I want to park here for a couple moments, guys. About some nonprofit news. Lots of things continuing to go on. We continue to grow. We continue to get a lot of sponsorship in, a lot of corporate sponsorship. We are actually getting a lot of attention from race teams, NASCAR drivers, companies, foundations, you name it. So you've probably seen a lot of things that have been happening. And one of the big things that's happened is we did a complete redesign. Go Locker Racing has all brand new logos. Each series has its own new logo with its primary sponsor. We've invested a lot of time, money, and energy and effort into making, well, not only the best racing league on iRacing, but the prettiest one. And I think everybody can agree, except for Chuck Feltz, who has an unnatural fear of goats. We'll get to that later. But we got some badass logos. I really want to thank Travis Smith and Redbeard Design Company for all the work that he's put in. He's working tonight on yet another logo. Goat Talk will now have its own logo, so we continue to do a lot of really cool stuff. If any of you've popped by the website, you will now notice it is at .org. We are, and we've announced it 100 different times, we are a 501c3 public charity. So we moved the website over to a .org. If you've popped your head over to the website, you'd be like, which one of your 5-year-old kids put this thing together? Um, we had some back and forth issues with one web designer. We had to let him go. Not going to talk about that one too much. So we're back under some things. Veterans for Life Foundation has taken over and is going to help us out a lot with the website. We'll talk more about them here shortly. But give us a little bit of grace with the website. We're going to continue to work on it because we got a lot of cool things going on, and we want to be able to continue to publicize some of them. One of the biggest things that happened recently, which was last week, we were on Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen. I know most of you watched it. Okay, I was going to pause for effect because probably most of you didn't. Um, but if you haven't checked it out, please go check out Above the Yellow Line by Taylor Kitchen. If you've ever wondered what Goat Locker Racing is all about, that is a perfect explanation. Me and Jamie are on there, and we talk through everything that's happening with Goat Locker Racing. Not only what we're doing here on iRacing, but what we're doing outside of iRacing. We got in funding last week, this week. So many things going on, Jamie. We got in funding this week from Right Now Roofing to actually be able to give away our first sim rig to a veteran. So we are fully funded to be able to provide a full simulation setup, thanks to Right Now Roofing, to a veteran. So we're going through the selection process right now. And so what I mean by a full setup, that is a PC that has a wheel, pedals, a year subscription to iRacing. We're going to load that veteran's account up with plenty of money so they can buy all the content, monitor, you name it. It is everything they need to go racing. And again, thanks to Right Now Roofing, we have raised the funds to actually be able to do that. And I mean, we could not be more happy about this. So more news to follow on that as we do the selection process and actually be able to present that. Speaking of new sponsorship and things along those lines, I've talked a little bit about Right Now Roofing. Right Now Roofing is also now the sponsor for the Xfinity Series on Tuesday. Again, could not be happier that they have come on board. And we've also brought on board the Veterans for Life Foundation. I know the Veterans for Life Foundation, you guys are familiar with it. You've probably seen Jamie Perkins around a few different times. You probably saw him wrecked in the wall, on pit road, wrecked again, back sitting on pit road for 6 minutes, wrecked again, and then not be able to get back in the race. But that's Jamie Perkins, and Jamie Perkins is one of the primary people at Veterans for Life Foundation. So I want to give Jamie a chance to talk about what Veterans for Life is doing, how they're partnered here with Goat Locker Racing, and of course give him a chance to introduce himself, except for apologizing to those he's wrecked.
Hey guys, my camera's loading right now. Thanks, Pat, Jamie. Yeah, I've been involved with Goat Locker since last spring, and met Pat through the Veterans for Life Foundation. We met up in a cool scenario where he actually was helping out Veterans for Life and turned around and said, "Hey, I got something to tell you about," and it just worked out, and I think we've all hit it off really well. I enjoy any time I can help out a veteran community, a first responder community. But Veterans for Life Foundation was founded in 2011 by my partner Richard Wyman, and we started off as a veteran training kind of school in a way, and morphed into veteran housing because of the need. We're based out of California, and just as the veteran population, the veteran homeless population started to grow, it was a big need. So we kind of changed gears and went into housing as many veterans as we can. We every year we have a goal of housing 1,000 veterans, and this year we're raising that up a little bit more, just from really good funding sources that have come through for us to house people in California. And then last year we stretched that out nationwide. So that's I'm based out of Indiana, and we're kicking off the Indiana side. Last year we kicked that off, and we're now moving into Tulsa, Arkansas, Florida, and Texas. So if you guys know of any scenarios, don't be afraid to reach out through Goat Locker. I have a Goat Locker email, or you can hit me on Discord or whatever. If you know somebody that's in that struggle bus kind of situation, or they're about to get there, we definitely can help them in any way, whether it be pointing them in the right direction, or we do housing. So one of the cool things we're kind of launching this year is bringing back the veteran training program. We're going to do job training. So the idea is to get these guys any help that they need, get them through any problems they have, if they have addiction problems or any kind of PTSD, like heavy PTSD struggles, and get those guys through that, and then into some good job training. We always want these guys to do something they love, not just go work to make a dollar. So we have a lot of cool partnerships coming on board and part of that training with from construction, farming to hotels and restaurants. Just get those guys the help they need, get them back on track and having fun again. So my goal from Veterans for Life is to be able to take somebody from the street to get in a Goat Locker simulator. Like that's a big goal of mine. We pull that one off, it's going to be a big party. But yeah, I've had a great time with these guys, and I'm pretty actively involved. Some of you guys may have noticed I'm pretty actively involved in Goat Locker and helping out, and just I do a lot of the fundraising for Veterans for Life, so it's pretty easy to switch over and also kind of drag Goat Locker along with that, and see what connections we can make. So I've enjoyed it. It's been great. I sorry if I've wrecked you on the track. I'm just getting enough time to use my own simulator. But I'm getting better. I can make it around the track without smacking a wall or somebody else generally. So I'm having a lot of fun. So thanks, guys. I love all of you guys. You guys are awesome. Everybody on the track, Pat, Jamie, thanks so much for allowing me to partake and do what I do.
Well, man, we really appreciate it, man, and everything that the Veterans for Life Foundation is not only doing for Goat Locker, but for our nation's warriors. It's outstanding, and and me and Jamie can't be happier to be partnered with you all. So thank you. And a lot of our great sponsors have stuck around this year too. Jam Printing Promotions is the premier, is the series sponsor for the truck season yet again. They continue. They're a veteran-owned business. If you got your swag pack in today, All of that came from Jam Printing and Promotions. The hats, the shirts, the postcards, the decals, the you name it. Jam Printing and Promotions has done everything for us, and they are phenomenal. Cruising Classics out of Columbus, Ohio, is back again for another season in the Next Gen series. So I hope to get some more T-shirts and stuff from them that we can hand out. And then we've got Redbeard Design, as I talked earlier. It's continued to do a lot of great work for us, and then we've got a lot of new stuff. We'll talk about the broadcasts and all that stuff coming up. Obviously, we've made some big changes this year, and then I don't know, Jamie. Do we save it for the end, like the big news? Do we do it now? I I say,
Mm. Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go and
oh,
do it.
we're just gonna do this.
Yeah, just do it. Let's just rip that Band-Aid off and
Okay, well, we could do that one.
Okay.
So, you're going to see something really cool here shortly. If you've seen any of our logos, sometimes you'll see powered by Goat Locker Racing. If anybody's familiar with that, seen that, a lot of our logos say that. So, by happenstance, and I'm going to give Jamie Perkins a lot of credit for this too, because we're all working very hard. We got a hold of iRacing, guys, and iRacing wants to be a part of what Goat Locker Racing's doing. So iRacing has committed to donating free subscriptions to our veterans that get rigs. iRacing wants to brand with us. They want to see Goat Locker powered by iRacing. I cannot tell you the conversation that we had with iRacing today. They love veterans. They love veteran causes. They could not be more proud to be partnering with us. They could not be more happy. I could talk about a bunch of other stuff that I've sworn to secrecy, so I'm not going to. But the things iRacing is getting ready to do for Goat Locker Racing is going to blow your minds. What an awesome conversation we had with them today. And so anybody that comes into Goat Locker Racing now is going to feel the love not only from us but from iRacing too. So what a huge milestone today for us, man. And I still, when I talk about it, I get goosebumps because I cannot believe that Goat Locker Racing and iRacing are now partners. It is unreal to me. So, before I geek out too hard, before I start actually shedding a tear, and all that other kind of crazy stuff, which actually might happen, and no, I'm not a sissy, Ryan Pendleton. Um, but it's so cool. We'll save the other text message for later, Jamie. How about that?
All right. Okay.
We'll,
That
we'll
one's
do
not
that
as
one.
big, but this was.
Well, it's still pretty big. It's not as big as iRacing partnering with Goat Locker Racing, but
Well,
yeah,
I think the one thing you did fail to mention is that iRacing is going to put Goat Lockers, our logos will be available in iRacing for people. I mean, I know mostly it's newcomers to iRacing that paint their cars in iRacing. I get that, but be honest with you, like I told Pat earlier today, I didn't know what Dirty Mo Media was until I got on iRacing, and that was an available sticker to put on a car. Right? That's when I found out what it was and who it was and all that. Well, Goat Locker Racing logos will be available on that decal sheet for people to paint their cars in iRacing. So I thought that was pretty dang cool. The thought that we could get in an official race one day and see people running around on a street stock rookie series with Goat Locker crap on their car. That's freaking pretty sweet.
yeah, just it's wild, man. It's wild what we're doing here, but again, I just so beside myself at this point in time with the things that are happening right now. It's just unreal. But yeah, but we'll talk about the other thing later. So let's get into some racing stuff. But that's what's going on in the nonprofit world. A lot of really big things going on. A lot of huge sponsorship coming our way. Biggest announcement of the day, obviously, is we're partnering with iRacing, which is absolutely insane. But Jamie, I'm going to turn it over to you for the truck series. We're going to kind of go series by series here a little bit. Obviously, we're going to park on the truck series a little bit longer. We got a lot of things to talk about there because of the move to Podium Esports and the expectations there. But I think I've bumped my gums long enough, and I'll let the good Jamie Barkus take over for the truck series.
All righty. All right, guys. The biggest thing that's going to get stressed here with this truck series stuff is putting the best quality race, whatever you want to call it, on that broadcast. This Podium Esports deal is not cheap. But it's going to get us a lot of attention. They have a big following on all their platforms. There's going to be a lot of people looking at what we are doing during those broadcasts. So again, what I'm going to talk about here tonight, most of that is going to be geared towards us not looking like fools out there on the track. Okay, so stuff that we've done in the past, you know, what am I trying to say? We're going to tighten up stuff. We've said a lot of things in the past, and we're going to penalize this. And a lot of times, we it's more of a threat. We don't really follow through with it. But this time around, we're no longer threatening. It's going to happen. You're going to get penalized. Okay, and we're going to be doing that with live race control. Okay, so. With the move to podium, we figured me and Pat don't want to be sitting here listening to can I get my black flags cleared? You guys know the deal. The only black flag we're clearing is if you get pushed down pit road during an accident. Okay, it's the only one we're clearing, and that's the only one race control is going to clear for you. Okay, the live race control is going to have the final say in everything that happens on the track. If he gives you a penalty, whether you agree with it or not, you're going to serve that penalty during the race. If you think he made a bad call, you can get a hold of Pat and I, show us proof that he made a bad call, and we'll look at some kind of remedy. Don't know what that'll be just yet. More than likely, his call is just going to stand because that's just the way it's going to be. That's the way it is in any sport. The referee is going to make a call. But it hardly ever gets changed. I don't know. It has been changed a lot in the NFL this season. I don't know how many times I've seen flags get thrown. They say, "Oh no, never mind. There was no flag on the play." So it's been kind of weird. But most every other sport, when the referee makes a call, that's what stands. Okay. So again, race control's got final say. We're not going to beat race control up during the race, and we're not going to beat him up afterwards. If you guys have an issue with it, you come to Pat and I. We don't go to race control. By the way, just to let you know, I believe his name's Ronald Piles, right, Pat?
Yes, sir.
Ronald Piles that will be serving the race control. He was going to try to be here tonight, but I know he's just like a lot of people are getting hit with the really bad weather. He was losing power on and off all day today, so I don't see him in here. So, but he'll be around. Okay. All right. So that's the race control interviews. If you finish in the top 3, you will do interviews with Podium. Okay. At the end of that interview, I'm sure they're going to ask you if you've got sponsors you want to thank. You need to be going through the readout list that Pat posted earlier this week. Okay. Those sponsors need to be mentioned, especially Jam Praying Promotions, Veterans for Life Foundation. And I know there was 3 up there on the top of the list. I'll have that up in front of me. You guys can review that. Go ahead.
Yeah, one big thing, Jamie, is Premier Setups. Premier Setups has donated all setups this season. We have a custom fixed setup for every single race. We don't have to race with the junk. I probably shouldn't say that. With the stuff that iRacing has. I just said we're partnered with iRacing. I was getting ready to call some of their stuff junk. That's probably not smart. But be sure, Premier Racing Setups decided to donate all this stuff to us. And again, guys, I mean, it is phenomenal what is happening. And all we ask is that you guys give them a mention. So that's really big thing is to mention them is Premier Setups.
Yeah, definitely. By all means, shout out your own sponsors too. We're not telling you not to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
You just need to include the people that are helping make this thing go. I understand that we put a $60 entry fee for the truck series this year, but I can promise you right now that is not covering the cost of this series.
Not even close.
I'll be honest with you. The main reason why we even put a buy-in into the truck series is because, one, it's our premier series. And even with going to the broadcasting this season, we still ended up at the championship race for the truck series with like less than 14 guys on the track. Okay. So I know everybody's got things that's going on, but look, we can't have that. And I'm hoping, I mean, you may pay your $60 and still not show up. I get that, but I'm hoping that if you've paid money to be here and be in the series, that you're going to show up and we don't end up with 10 people on a track at the end of the season. Okay. So that's kind of what brought that on, to be honest with you. It is still, nobody here is making any money. If you guys think that, if you think, oh, I'm paying $60, Pat and Jamie are going to buy a new car. Pat and Jamie don't make a dime. Okay. We are the last people making any money around here. So believe me when I say that. All right. So again, as we've already mentioned, Pat and I are the directors for the truck series. So any issues you've got with it, come to us. Nobody else. You come to us. All right. We got the Dash for Cash races. I believe that's going to be $60 to the winner for each of those, right? So it
Yes,
gives you
sir.
2 opportunities to win your
Yep.
entry fee back. See, you pay us money and we give you ways to get it back. That's how cool we are. Okay. So it's gonna be 2 of those races. We're gonna have the Phoenix race will be the qualifier for Dover, and North Wilkesboro will be the qualifier for Atlanta. Top 5 finishers from Phoenix and North Wilkesboro will be eligible for the Dash for Cash the following races. Okay. The winner is going to take all that money. It's not going to be paid out over the top 5. Well, I should say that whoever is the top finisher out of those 5 people will take home the $60. All right. Banners. It's been put out several weeks ago that the banners are required for the trucks for on your paint schemes. The specific banner has been posted. Eddie Smith was even kind enough to make a decal layer that you can put in Trading Paints, and they'll put it straight on your truck. It has to be a white banner with a black background. No other options. No alternatives or anything. Okay. White banner, black background. Don't want to see red. Don't want to see multicolored banners.
Don't
White
want to
and
see
black.
Craftsman Truck Series, Eddie
Don't
Smith.
craft, yeah, or Camping World, whatever it used to be.
Yeah.
None of that. Goat Locker Racing, white on black. Should be simple enough. We will not be issuing any warnings this year. Last year, we gave you guys a little bit of a break. And honestly, it kind of went out the window. Although I will say, I'd say 99% of everybody did have their Goat Locker banner on the truck last year. So thank you for doing that. But there'll be no warnings. If you don't have it on week 1, there's going to be penalties. It's going to be points penalties. Probably going to be 25 points for your first offense. Podium Esports is putting on a professional broadcast. I'm sure they're not going to have issues with getting your paint, whatever you've got in Trading Paints, on that broadcast. So it is your responsibility to make sure that the correct stuff is loaded up in Trading Paints before you take to the track next Friday night. All right, that's your guys' responsibility. Yes, Jim Kaufman, your red banner did look great, but we're not having it this year. Okay, aren't you fishing anyways? What are you doing?
Jim's always causing problems.
I think that's pretty much it for the trucks. Again, I did forget one thing, and I think this is what I was thinking of earlier when I was telling you. Again, Podium Esports has the broadcast. Setups are being provided by Premier Setups. There are no fast repairs. So if anybody has missed all the talk about that, it's been put out. Just want to reiterate it. There are no fast repairs. You have no safety net. Okay, race accordingly. And again, if we've got issues with the same people, race after race, with keeping control of their truck, keeping out of the way if they're not up to pace, then we're going to probably have to address your participation. I hope that's not going to become an issue. I'm just putting it out that we're not going to hesitate because, again, guys, this has been a big investment in Podium Esports. We are going to put a quality product out there. And since we're talking about trucks, I know it's brought in the rules later to be discussed. I'll just go and bring it up now. At the end of the race, okay, if you are not the winner or if you're not on a team with the winner, you do not need to be going to the start finish line for any reason. You don't need to be going there to do donuts, burnouts, whatever. You don't need to be going there to try to get pickups. Okay. When that race is over, if you are not the winner or on that team, you need to just drive on down pit road and park your truck. Okay. We're not going to have a bunch of foolishness on the racetrack at the end of the broadcast. And we're not going to have people going after the winners to wreck them to prevent them from doing their donuts. Okay, we're not having any of that. Just it's simple. Checkered flag flies, finish that lap, take it to pit road. Okay. And that should be it for the truck series. There may be something that
Oh,
pops back up in my mind later, but we'll
yeah.
revisit it if it does.
Yeah, we'll kind of buzz through a couple things here because I don't want to take up a bunch of people's time here tonight, and I want to get a chance to talk to everybody. But moving on from the truck series, ARCA series, which is going to run on Thursday nights. Veterans for Life Foundation is a sponsor for that. Both Jake Ellingson and Jamie Perkins are kind of running that whole thing. So if there's last year we kind of did a little thing with the late model stocks and iRating caps, and if you'd want to race and all this other stuff, and we took all that away. If you want to come race ARCA, come race ARCA. We believe that the better drivers out there are going to make the guys in that series better. We don't want somebody coming out there and winning every week or those types of things, but we wanted to open it up to everybody. ARCA is supposed to be the series that feeds into everything else, and so we expect a good racing. We expect people to go out there and help. We expect all those different types of things. The races will be a little bit shorter, but this year we're also going to keep all series in the same schedule. There's going to be a 10-week regular season and a 5-week playoff. That way everybody's accustomed to it as they continue to move up and through. But that's the ARCA series. And it should be a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of interest in it so far. We've even had Taylor Kitchen on Above the Yellow Line mention it a couple different times that that's Goat Locker's developmental series. And so, please, if you got a chance to come out on Thursday nights and run ARCA, even if you can only do it a couple times, come on out. Have fun with these guys. Let's get out there and have some fun with it, and bring up the next level of drivers. The Cruising Classics Next Gen Series will continue to run on Wednesday nights. It is so awesome to continue to have them as a sponsor. Brandon Evans has kind of stepped up to help with that series, so he'll be one of the series directors there. And one of the ideas that was kind of brought up by him was, and we're going to do it, is that if you guys want to, it'll be like a $10 buy-in. We'll like a side pot type thing. So we'll have a couple dash for cash races. We'll have a payout at the end of the season, but only if you want to buy into it. There's some guys that have been like, yeah, I'd love to throw $10 in, and week 3 I get a chance to win $30 or whatever. So if you want to buy into it, awesome. It's just another way to participate and have fun. But Cruising Classics is back on board. The Next Gen Series has been one of the more competitive ones as well. We've got a great returning group of drivers coming back to it. I'm excited for that season as well, and we're going to just throw something a little bit extra into it to have some fun with it. And then, kind of lastly, when it comes to the series, is we've moved to Xfinity on Tuesdays. Right now, Roofing came on board for that sponsorship. Jake Ellingson is going to be the series director for that. And I do want to give Jake a shout out here. Jake has put a lot of hard work in behind the scenes. We don't often give him a chance to talk. There's very good reason for that. We just allow him to work behind the scenes. But Jake Ellingson has been hard at work. He's been building the seasons in iRacing. He's been out actively recruiting drivers. He's participated in all the recruiting races. He reaches out to people. Jake has been doing a lot of hard work, and we continue to pile more stuff on him. So this is the only time I'm ever going to say anything nice about Jake. So everybody kind of pause for a minute, hit your record button, whatever the case is. He is a dumbass at heart, but he's got a big heart. And thank you, Jake, for all the stuff that you're doing. But he has decided to step up and take the reins of the Xfinity series. And again, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We've had a lot of really great interest from the recruiting races and all that stuff. I'm excited to have the Xfinity cars back. I think they're a blast, and it kind of keeps in line with the NASCAR progression. So we'll talk about some of the rules and some of the stuff Jamie was talking about as well, just to refresh everybody's memory about some of the different things. And Jamie, please feel free to jump in at any point in time if I miss anything or I don't say anything here. But you guys know all series are now broadcast. Tuesday nights, the Xfinity series is going to be done by Eddie Smith and the V Speed Network. Does a top-notch broadcast. So happy to have him back on board and his organization to be able to broadcast this new one for Right Now Roofing. The Next Gen and ARCA series will be broadcast on NASRA 360. They did a phenomenal job last year. They're going to take on another series for us this year. Don't be surprised if me and Jamie jump in the broadcast booth a couple times on Thursday nights just to have some fun. It seems when we were broadcasting the ARCA series, still to this day, people enjoy listening to us talk for some reason. So we're going to do a couple guest appearances up there. And then again, we've said it 100 times, Trucks is going to be on Podium Esports on Friday nights.
Yeah, and when we do a broadcast, if we're saying you guys' names wrong, tell us. Because that's kind of a pet peeve of mine if I know I'm saying somebody's name wrong. And I still may not say it right even if you tell me, but at least you've told me and I'll try. But man, when I find out we just did a whole season of the late model series and we were calling out the champion's name wrong every
Yep.
night and his grandparents every week were watching that broadcast, and here
Yep.
we were like a couple of dummies
Yep.
saying his last name wrong. Tanner and Will. All right. Tell us we're saying your name wrong so we can correct ourselves, please.
Thanks. One of the things, and Jamie kind of iterated it before too, is I want everybody to kind of pause and think about what Goat Locker Racing is. I do think we get wrapped up in the racing from time to time. Feelings get in the way, all this kind of crazy stuff. I've been involved in plenty of heated direct message conversations. That's fine. I just want everybody to keep in mind what Goat Locker Racing is all about and what our nonprofit's about. And if you can every once in a while just kind of turn back to that and go, okay, calm down. Whatever happened on track, happened on track. We've definitely over the seasons had some guys get fired up about some stuff and quit and all kinds of craziness. But again, remember what Go Locker Racing is all about. And also remember the first couple weeks are just going to be rough. Everybody's getting used to everybody. The first week is all plate racing. So if you don't expect to just crash and burn the first week, I don't know what to tell you. It's Daytona Speed Weeks. But we're all knocking the rust off. We're all getting used to each other. So just expect the first couple weeks to be a little rough. Stick it through. And then again, remember what we're here for. We're here to support our nation's warriors and first responders. So let's never lose sight of that just because some stuff happened on track. Starts and restarts, same as every season. Start of the race is on green. All restarts on the leader. If there is a restart zone, the leader must restart in that zone. We don't have them active because of the whole speed matching thing and all that other stuff, but you must restart within the zone. Leader does have lane choice, must be announced with one lap to go. Leader also has lane choice on the actual start of the race. Again, must be announced. Easy stuff there. Yellow line rule is still in effect. I guess it's the white and red line at Atlanta, but any plate track, you are not allowed to advance your position by going underneath that line. If you do, you must give the position back. If you're forced down there, that's another thing. We can review it afterwards. But if you're found that you advanced your position by going below the yellow line and you were not forced down there, you'll just be moved to last place in the race itself, and the points will be deducted from there. Jamie hit on this also. When the race is over, allow the winner to celebrate. We have a lot of sponsored drivers this season. Veterans for Life Foundation has stepped up and sponsored a lot of drivers. Right now, Roofing has stepped up and sponsored some drivers, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics. All these sponsors have stepped up. And when their driver wins, they want to be able to watch them celebrate or that team celebrate. So please just allow that to happen. We're calling this the Jake Ellingson rule, that you don't just come murder the winner. But I think it's an appropriate name for the rule. But allow them to celebrate, like Jamie said. Just everybody else kind of park it. If you want to go up and give the victor a congratulatory bump or give him a good dooring or whatever, that's fine. But allow that car to continue on or that truck to continue on to go celebrate. When it comes to starts and restarts, you got to maintain your line. Maintain your position, no passing or changing lanes before the start finish line. Unless, again, common sense says somebody missed a shift or something along those lines, you've got to duck or evade. But short of that, no changing your line until the start finish line. One of the other big things that we're going to be a little bit tougher on this year is race comms. We'll call this the Jim Kaufman rule. Is you've got to stay off race comms. One of the most unique things about iRacing is that you can immediately tell that driver that wronged you just where to go and how to get there. We need to cut that out. Save it for direct messages, save it for after the race. If the race is over and a couple drivers want to hang out and cuss each other out, y'all have the best time of your life. I'm not going to be a part of it. I don't. Hey, we're all grown men, and handle your business. But during the race and during the broadcast and all that stuff, stay off race comms. I mean, if you jump on race comms and you call somebody out, or you this, that, or the other thing, you're just going to be immediately given a penalty. We've got to keep it clean, mostly clean, somewhat clean. And then last thing, guys, before we open up the questions or just general debauchery, which I expect is really what's going to happen, penalties. So if you are found to be at fault for an incident, your first penalty will be an end of the line penalty. If you are involved in a second incident and found at fault with that, you're going to get a black flag and a 40-second hold under green. And then third, we're just going to park you. And at any point in time, you could be parked if the incident was determined intentional. And that also means wrecking people under caution, all those different types of things. So again, we're going to police a little bit better, live race control, at least for the truck series and all that stuff. But again, gentlemen, at the end of this thing, we've talked about a lot of things today. We've talked about, the nonprofit, all the thing that's going on with that, all the great sponsors, Veterans for Life Foundation, and all the awesome things they're doing for veterans. Right now, roofing and the sponsorship that they have brought on board so we can actually give a sim rig to a veteran, jam printing and promotions, and all the packages you guys are receiving, Cruising Classics and everything that they're doing. I just want everybody to keep in mind as we continue to move forward what Goat Locker Racing is all about, and that we're out here racing to help our brothers and sisters that serve or that have served. And yeah, stuff's going to go wrong on the track. You're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wronged. You're going to get all those types of things. But in the grand plan and in the grand scheme of things, that's not the most important thing that's happening. So kind of keep those things in mind. I cannot, and I know Jamie feels the exact same way that I do. I cannot thank enough people. I could sit here for the next hour and thank people. I can thank the entire Ellingson family, everything that the Ellingson family's done, Mama Ellingson's done, and all that stuff. I could talk about the Bethayas, but not the Bethayas. However you say their name now. I don't know how they say their name. If you're asking me to pronounce people's names,
Apparently it's Bethay.
Bethay, the Bethay family, and how the grandparents and the parents tune in and all that other kind of crazy stuff. I could talk about all the behind the scenes work that a lot of people are doing. I have to give a huge shout out to Eddie Smith and everything that he has contributed as well. He has stepped up to the plate and really made Goat Locker shine in a lot of different ways. If it wasn't for Eddie Smith, I don't think the deal with Podium Esports would have went through. This machine does not operate off the backs of me and Jamie alone. It operates off the backs of every single one of you guys that show up to race each and every week. Jamie Perkins and everything that he's doing. Again, I could go on for hours, guys. It is so humbling and so heartwarming. And really, from the bottom of my heart, before I start to cry again, this is just absolutely amazing what's happening right now. I know you guys have probably been a part of leagues and all this other kind of stuff, but you've never been a part of this, and what we're doing and what we'll continue to do. So I can't wait for the racing to start either. I can't wait to dump Jeremy Gardner because that son of a
Hey,
deserves
whoa,
it.
whoa.
I can't wait to get out there and just have a blast with you guys. The truck series is going to be phenomenal. All these series are going to be phenomenal. But Eddie, man, I'm going to turn it over to you,
Hey, hold
quite
on.
honestly, or Jamie.
Real quick, before we move on from the rules, Chuck Phelps.
Yeah.
Big guns there. He brought up something earlier. I just want to touch on it real quick before we move on from the rules. Chuck asked a question before we started broadcast. Is it a requirement to be on a team? No, it's not. It's not a requirement to be on a team. Are there teams in Goat Locker? Absolutely, there are. Okay. But what we're not going to have with teams is teammates doing anything to alter the outcome of a race to benefit their team. Now, I'm not talking about on restarts when you telling your teammate who's next to you or behind you when you're going to launch. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about somebody that's possibly not on a lead lap, purposely holding up someone else that is on the lead lap to benefit their teammate. stuff that's kind of stuff I'm talking about. Okay, we support teams. Teams are great. We love to have the love-hate relationship with Indy Autosport and GLR. We love that. Okay, but again, we are not going to allow teams to alter the outcome of the races to benefit their teammates. I hope everybody understands what I'm saying there. Okay, so that's all I want to touch on since we were talking about rules, and I guess we turn it over to Eddie now.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't prepared, but definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I mean,
that's if Eddie wants us to turn it over to him. He might
Eddie,
be
still
like,
awake?
well,
He's
I'm
like,
talking
"Nah,
on
nah."
the stream. Sorry, I need to unmute myself. But yeah, really excited to to bring it to Podium. Really been working hard to make sure that y'all's broadcast looks really good. That's why we've been so adamant about getting the headshots. I want to thank everybody for getting those done in a reasonable amount of time. I know it was a lot of pressure to get those stuff and a lot of stuff to get in and deadlines and such for all kinds of leagues. But it's just going to make the broadcast so much better, and that's really the whole point of Podium. Is not to do anything but give Goat Locker the best exposure, the best possible broadcast. And my time, just initial time at Podium, working with some of the best people that do broadcast. Yeah, it's just we want to make sure that we're putting on a good broadcast and show y'all's racing and show y'all's talent and give a platform for all your sponsors, your family, and of course Goat Locker to be able to put its name out there a little bit. But forget the platform. It's just that we want to give y'all the very best. While I enjoy broadcasting, I really do. I love giving y'all the solo broadcasts that I do, and I appreciate everybody being really nice. It's not the quality that we're going to get on Friday night. It's just not. These guys are professionals. These guys do this for a living. They are going to be on a Fox NASCAR broadcast one of these days. And so what better to have something like that for Goat Locker. I can't think of a better place to do it. So definitely want to appreciate them for y'all for jumping on board and making this partnership happen. So, but yeah, we just want to give you all the best broadcast we can. Hopefully, we're able to deliver. But want to thank Pat and Jamie for sort of being at a beck and call almost, where I need this, I need that, I need this, and and it's I want to thank them for being patient. I know it's a lot; they have other stuff going on, but we just want to make sure that. Man, we have a really cool broadcast, something you can show off to people and go, man, look at this. That's been my favorite thing about Podium and trying to put down really cool broadcasts. So, yeah, just really pumped that this worked out like it did. Looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's just going to be a blast. So, just make sure, like I said, just to reiterate, thanks for the broadcast. Just make sure your headshot is right, and if you didn't put your pronunciation down, I had a production meeting with the guys, showed them that sign-up list that said this is how you pronounce your name. If you don't have that right, or if you put something funny, trying to be a little bit cute and put something funny in there, and your name gets pronounced wrong, make sure you go in there and edit that and fix it so they can. They're serious about it. We sat down and these guys want to know, how do you say this guy's name? How do you do that? What's this? I mean, this is the difference that you get with Podium, and these guys are going to be incredible. If you haven't ever heard Kenneth Bueno, I can't say enough about him. He does really awesome stuff. He's going to be your lead. Joey Atterbury is a former IMSA driver. I know NASCAR fans aren't super excited about that, but he does a really good job. He's really knowledgeable, and they're gonna put on a great show. So just want to thank y'all for putting in the work to get all those pictures and stuff so we can have it on the broadcast. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy it. We always like feedback too. If there's something you don't like, we'll try to do something to make it happen. But hopefully, what you get, you'll be super thrilled with. So thank y'all.
Hey, Jamie, we almost forgot, bro.
What's
The
that?
text message.
Oh, yeah.
No,
wait.
I dropped the first news. You get to drop the second news.
All right. So we want to do that before we open up for Q&A?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
So,
this is Jamie Perkins wants to interrupt you real quick. We forgot something on the ARCA series. I just want to give a shout out to DJ Yej. He's going to be doing some training for new drivers in the ARCA series before the races. So we'll put on the Discord more on that, like times to get there and all that stuff. But he'll be doing it every week for each track, and he's also going to make specific videos per track for the new drivers. I mean, So I want to make sure we point him out and give him some love because he's stepping up the plate. He's doing that completely free just to help out. He supports veteran causes. So I want to give him a shout out. And if you guys can go follow his YouTube videos, he does a ton of training stuff. So I want to make sure we give him some love for stepping up the plate for us.
Sweet. I knew we had talked about that in the past. That you were working on that. I didn't know we actually got that done. So
He's done.
deal right there. All right. So Pat, do we want to do this for Q&A? Right? That's what we said. Okay. All right. So most of you probably are not aware. Maybe a couple of you know. What was it? Last week, Pat, that we
Yeah.
had the meeting.
Yeah.
Last week, Pat and I had a Zoom meeting with Jesse Awuji. If you guys are not aware who Jesse Awuji is, he was in the Truck Series. He is the owner of the 34 in the Xfinity Series. He was driving the 34 for a while. I know he was struggling to make some races. They ended up putting somebody else in the car to actually get it into the field. So I really don't know where he's at right now with that. That wasn't something we were going to ask him. But yeah, he's a NASCAR driver. He's done some announcing stuff for NBC from time to time as well. He is also a commander in the United States Navy Reserves. So we were able to get a contact with him and had this Zoom meeting with him, and we explained to him what we were doing with Goat Locker Racing and the nonprofit, and where we want to go with that. And we weren't really asking him for anything specific. We really were just asking him to kind of, throw some support our way, kind of mention us, something like that. But he even went a step further, and I just got the message tonight that he is going to. We don't know exactly how this is going to work now. Okay, so getting a little ahead of ourselves here. But if you're not aware, Jesse also runs a series on iRacing. It's ERA. I can't remember exactly what it means, but stands for. But basically, they're money races. So what he's told us he's going to do for veterans that win races here at Goat Locker Racing, he is going to donate the entry fees to you guys to join his series and have a shot at winning money. I know some of the pots are like over $4,000. So
Yeah.
Not guaranteeing you're going to win anything. You might go in there and get stomped. I don't know, but he definitely likes what we're doing, and that right now is where he's stepping into it, and he's going to provide that. So it is going to be limited to our veterans that are in GLR. That's who he's wanting to support. So veterans that win here will get their opportunity to race for some money over there with Jesse Awuji's series that he has going on.
Like big money, like $4,000 or $5,000. The winner gets $4,000 or $5,000. Like big money races. So we'll continue to work with Jesse. Again, this is another one of those things. Today has just been absolutely phenomenal. That just came out of, I'm going to say, nowhere. I mean, we had the meeting and all that stuff, and then Jesse stepped up to the plate and said, "Look, your guys can come over and join my series for free and come race." So we'll be talking to a few of you guys as well to represent GLR going over into his series. And man, I mean, I hope we can get a Goat Locker Racing driver over in Jesse's series and go win us a purse. So we'll see what happens there. Ryan, you better get to practicing. You're probably our best shot. But short of all that, man, we've said a lot of shit. We've done a lot of things. I think it's about time to get down to a little bit of debauchery. I don't think I've even cussed once. I just did. So I feel a lot better about myself now that I finally did that. Brandon Wallace is too busy actually racing, I guess. I'm not sure what that dude's actually doing. But yeah, let's open it. Oh, boy. All right. But yeah, let's open it up. So if you got a question, anything like that along those lines, man, let's hear them. Chuck.
I got one quick one, fellas, if that's okay.
Yeah, hit me.
First and foremost, Jamie, Patrick, and Shady Jake, and I say that with love, Shady Jake, my brother. I'm so happy and excited to be back with you guys. I've raced with a lot of you guys in this league, and you guys specifically off and on. It was just iRacing scheduling confliction that I've been in and out. But I'm here for the long haul with the, excuse me, the scheduling is no longer a conflict. So you guys have always been awesome. Respect to you guys. First and foremost, everything in regards to the whole veteran thing. I mean, I'm a brother, you're a brother. We're all, not all of us are veterans in here, but like I got the love for you guys and the respect for that. So anyway, with that being said, I'm happy to be here. The only question I have, since I am your resident crayon eater, is I just
Birthday,
need
man.
one tiny bit of clarification. I totally get the whole clearing a black flag. Hey, if you wreck down pit road or into the infield or whatever due to wreck or wreck avoidance, whatever, got it. My only thing is just for clarification, after a wreck, because sometimes people they just can't catch up because they're damaged. So what's that? That wasn't addressed. So I get it. Like there sometimes is a line there. If you're damaged and you don't want to tow, so you're trying, and then sometimes people are damaged beyond repair and they know it, but they don't tow anyway just because they're kind of being a-holes. But there is some times where a car is like, can I make it? Can I not make it? But regardless, if there's a wreck and a damaged car is supposed to get by you and does not, so you get the passing under yellow, therefore you get a penalty. That was not addressed. Is that clearable or not? Is that the one thing that was not addressed? Or when you said the one thing you're clearing and that's it only, and if that is the case, what do we do? Stop on track to let somebody get by if we have to? What's the course of action there?
All right. So, as you said, if someone is damaged and cannot get up to speed, and I don't even mean up to speed, right? Because that's all that's really important is that they catch you in
Correct.
line before
Correct.
the car hit pit road. Okay. If you are not able to do that, you need to ask for an EOL. That is your responsibility to do. If you are causing other people to get black flags because you refuse to do what you're supposed to do, then you're going to get an even worse penalty. We will talk to race control about this situation. Okay. And if someone does do that, where they fail to do their responsibility and it causes you to get a black flag because of that, then we will give race control that power to fix that situation. Okay. We're not gonna have you penalized for something like that.
Yep.
But we don't need. I mean that's something that race control should be able to watch for. They should be able to see what's going on with the field, who's moving, who's not, things like that. So what we don't need is 5,000 people yelling, "I need black cleared. I need a black cleared," or stuff like that, right? So
On the other side, just to go one further with that, you're saying the wrecked car is responsible for towing or asking for an EOL or whatever. However, if you're the car waiting on that person, and maybe somebody is legitimately trying to catch up and couldn't quite make it, does the person that is waiting, should they say something real quick, not a long dissertation or anything? Should they say, for example, I'm number 75. Should I say, hey, 75 is waiting on car number X? Just so it's aware that, hey, I'm doing my diligence as car 75, but I'm not seeing car X anywhere near me. So do you want it from each person, the car waiting and the car who's slow?
well, I tell you what, I don't want to give you an answer on that right now, Chuck. I want to talk to race control and see how he wants to handle that situation. We will give him that scenario and see what he wants. If he wants you to, mic
Right.
up and do that,
Yeah,
then
because at
that's what
least
we'll
that
go
way
with.
at least that way it's put out there that car 75, using me as an example, is waiting on somebody, and that may even audio wise draw race control to, okay, who's he waiting on? And again, this is y'all's league. I'm gonna race it. That was just the only clarification that I as kind of new back to you guys wanted to address. Other than that, great broadcast, and I'll get off here, but I do got to show you and Patrick something. Thanks to Daniel Cunningham. He got me an awesome uniform to wear. But either way, I'll get off here. But just look at the camera, fellas.
Oh boy, here we go.
What do we got?
Okay, okay,
Oh,
okay,
that's nice. I like it, Chuck. I like it.
okay. Very nice, very nice, very
I-
Got a
nice.
crayon holder somewhere?
I do have a crayon holder, but it only holds 23, since that's all you send me, Brandon.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks for your time, and I'm still going to be here. Thanks for addressing my question. Love and respect to all you guys, and especially my fellow brother and sister veterans. And you too, Shady Jake.
Thanks,
Shady
Chuck.
Jake.
We appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
Well-
guys, for having me.
Yeah, man. What else? What else, guys?
Let's see. We got a question here from Tommy Cook on
Yeah.
Twitch. He's wanting to know if the setups are available yet. Tommy, the setups will be given to us a week before the race. So I guess I'm going to ask Jake right now. Jake, did you set the setup into the race for next Friday yet or not?
I did, and it should be available. Hopefully I did it right, but yes, I did load it in for next week.
Okay. So with that being said, we're not going to post the setups in here in Discord. They will get loaded into the session. Okay, just like any other fixed setup is loaded into the session. So that means it's going to be on you to go into that session for the next week and do a test session or whatever to practice with that setup. All right, and they will be given to us. I don't want to set they're supposed to be given to us a week in advance. Yes, this first one came to us yesterday. We sent it to Jake last night. So hopefully Thursdays will be kind of the norm. But again, like Pat said earlier, first couple weeks going to be rough. So we'll see how this actually comes out with Premiere. I'm sure they're going to get them to us in the time that we agreed to. So, but just know they will be posted into the session.
What else?
I got a question.
Okay, hit me.
Hey, well, one, congratulations on all the great news for Goat Locker. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. The question I have is, in the last season, North Wilkesboro fell apart with connection issues. What is if this happens again? It could happen again. There's the race season's longer. Whatever. How are we gonna adjudicate that based on 8 drivers or whatever it is
Yeah.
get blipped out of the session, that kind of thing?
Well, one, Brandon, you're using really big words like adjudicate.
Sorry.
You lost 85% of our drivers using that word.
Finance, man.
It's okay. We understand. I think each and every one of those situations, and trust me, when that situation happened, it actually got pretty heated between me and Jamie, because I'm trying to figure it out, and he's like this, and I'm like this, and because we're both so passionate about making sure we do the right thing for what's happening at that point in time. And I think as those situations arise, we're just going to have to deal with them as they come up. And I think we dealt with that situation the best way we could. We took a look at where people were racing when Thanos snapped his fingers, I think is how I put it. Who would have advanced, who wouldn't have advanced. It was unfortunate it happened during a playoff race. So I think moving forward, if we have another one of those situations where we have an iRacing server issue, that's exactly what we're going to do. Is we're going to look at where people were running when Thanos snapped his fingers, and then make our determinations from there. Because no matter where it happens throughout the season, it could affect somebody's playoff position, somebody's playoff run. But I don't think there's any generalized answer that I could just give and say, this is what's going to happen, because I had never seen that happen before. And then it happened kind of twice last season where we had this mass exodus of people, and we had to figure it out on the fly.
Yep.
Yeah.
10-4, thanks.
Yeah, man.
And my 2 cents on it, and this is just how I feel about it. those things are no different than mechanical failures in real life. If your PC crashes, if your wheel does whatever, and you're not able to finish the race, what's any different than that and your motor blowing up on Sunday? It sucks, but it's something we all have to deal with it. We all have internet connections that can go out at any time. We all have PCs that can fail. So I think we did the right thing last season with the playoffs. We did the best thing we could. I'll say that. And I feel like it was the right thing. But what we're not going to do is outcome of races will not change. If whoever wins that race is still going to be the race winner. We're not going to change that up or anything like that. But if we need to step in and correct an injustice or whatever, I guess we'll look at that. But it's such a slippery slope because where do you draw a line? What deserves something to be changed for and what doesn't? I mean, I know it sucks. It sucks that it happened, but we're all at the mercy of it. Could have happened to the whole field. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, 10-4. I for the record, I do think you guys handled it appropriately last year, but I just wanted to bring that because that could happen in any one of the 4 series.
Yeah.
And it happens in officials all the time. I mean, I've been running top 5 or top 3, whatever, and it's like you're really racing 2 or 3 of the best cars in the field, and like the leader blips out, and it's like, oh, that sucks. I mean, So anyway,
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man. What else, guys? I know Jeremy Gardner's got something to say.
Just put him in the back.
He gets an EOL every race.
You're in the back of the bus.
I'm going to say I agree with the Jake Ellingson rule. Over here trying to do victory donuts last night, and over here getting plowed through.
And I'll be honest with you, that was the source of the rule. So Pat wasn't lying when we called it the Jake Ellingson rule.
Yeah, hey, and
but I am here to get my black flags cleared.
And drink your little sissy IPAs. Yeah.
Oh my God! Drink your Bud Light and be quiet.
I think
I got one more.
I think that's bourbon in that glass.
I got one more thing, and I'm done.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think that I could ask is an improvement from the last season that I would like to see go forward this season.
Yeah.
If you get enough damage that you're not killed, but you're slow, or you're not making the corners well, you're plowing tight, whatever damage, talent, I don't know. Whatever the excuse is please make sure you have enough spatial awareness to let people go or just move out of the way nicely and allow the field to race, especially on these plate tracks, right? People are going to wreck. You might not have 100% damage, but you might have enough where you can barely keep in the draft. Don't hold people up and cause drama. That gets people's blood boiling. Trying to race around maybe others that know they're damaged, or the like. So I would just hope that that can be called out if that seems to be a reoccurring thing. That we try to keep the racing as clean and fun. That type of stuff it's unnerving sometimes. But
yeah, I mean our expectations with that. If you're a lap car, I mean, you see it all the time in NASCAR. Lap cars, fighting to stay on the lead lap or whatever. But again, I just hope that everybody keeps in mind what we're here racing for, and why we're racing, and what Goat Lucker's all about, man. If you're a lap car and the field's coming up on you, just get out of the way. No one's winning money here. I guess unless it's a Dash for Cash race or whatever, but no one's signing a bid contract with Hendrick Motorsports or any of those things. Maybe Brandon Evans will one day. Who knows? I fully expect Brian Pendleton to be in some dirt series at some point in time. I'm surprised he's not competing at the Chili Bowl Nationals right now. So I don't know. Just common sense and courtesy goes a long ways. I mean, there are definitely people on track that, we all don't like each other from time to time. We all get mad at each other from time to time. We all, whatever the case may be, man. But again, if we can all just kind of keep in mind what we're here for, I think some of those issues would be avoided. But yeah, if you're a lap car, just get out of the way. Yeah.
Remember, I am a crayon eater. I don't have a lot of common sense.
And again, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a really weird affirmation today to learn your unhealthy fear of goats. That was a little strange to me today.
It's not unhealthy, man. You weren't
That is
there,
unhealthy.
man. You weren't there, man.
You're right. You're right, man. I don't. Hey, don't snap on camera, Chuck.
I'm just saying you weren't there, man.
I was not there.
Like goats can F up like forever. This is the only goat related thing that I'm affiliated with. Like goats
man, I'm
can
not-
die off, man.
I'm not trying to trigger anybody's PTSD. I'm not trying to do
Yeah,
anything, Chuck, man.
yeah.
Hey, my bad. My bad. That dude's gonna come find me.
Oh, he has a list, and he does have a list.
I already know your address, man. I've had it for years. But you just, I have your address. You just didn't make the list. So kudos, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. I feel safer now. I really do.
All right, we got
anything?
a question from Twitch.
Yep.
Mark Holyfield's wanting to know, will there be stages? Short answer, no. There will not be stages. I mean, we can't walk straight and chew bubble gum, and we want to include stages into this thing? Please.
Oh, one thing I did want to bring up too, the point system is set up for all the series for the ARCA point system. So, take that as you know.
Yeah,
your
so that
knowledge in
means
the point
those
system.
Yeah, those bonus points. You get a bonus point for winning the poll. You get a bonus point for leading a lap. You get a bonus point for leading the most laps. So there are 3 bonus points available each and every race. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. All series run the ARCA point system.
Is it a win and you're in? Unless
Yes,
that
sir.
was already addressed.
Yes.
Yep, we expect you get 2 drop races during the season. Those are automatically set up in iRacing. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to do anything about it. You automatically get 2 drop races. Those only can happen during the regular season. If you drop a race in the playoffs, you're just out of the playoffs. But yes, if you win and you also compete in 7 out of 10 regular season races, you're in. So you have to have 70% participation in the regular season with a win. You're playoff eligible. And a win moves you to the next round. There are bonus points. The regular season champ gets bonus points. If you win a race, it's 3 bonus points that carries you through the playoffs. We do have a bonus point system as well. That way, your regular season counts towards your playoffs. And one of the other things too, I mean, there are a lot of guys that have Goat Locker Racing trophies. Well, I've got a lot of them. They're all right there. Everybody can check them out. That's what a championship looks like, Jamie.
Let's pretty fixed there,
Either one.
Patrick. Let's pretty fixed.
But this year for the Truck Series, we're doing the championship belts. There are a few guys on the Goat Locker Racing team that have the WWE style championship belt. This thing it's over $200 to have these things made. So if you're the Truck Series champion this year, you're getting the hardware. It's gonna be something big. So another really cool part about the Truck Series this year.
I hope I don't win it because that better be a big ass belt.
It is.
I don't know what to tell you on that one, man.
All
I know
right,
what size
again-
shirt I sent you, so.
Sorry. And again from Twitch, Mark Holyfield's made a comment about drop races will be road courses to save me from being penalized the next race. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Mark. Unlike last year when we didn't have race, well, never mind. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, gentlemen, anything else?
I'm about to start a session if anybody's interested.
What are we
Yeah,
doing?
Jeremy Gardner is going to throw up a truck session. So any of you guys that want to stick around and race, please stick around and race. I mean, that's what we're here to do. It's a Friday night. Let's have some fun.
It's starting now.
It's okay. It's starting now. Jeremy Gardner is fucking making demands for some reason.
Well, what is it?
What is what?
Trucks at where?
I don't
Kansas.
know. Kansas.
I don't know.
Why would you
how
pull
can-
it at some crazy 1.5 miles, man? It's Friday
Oh
night.
my
Have some fun.
god.
This ain't
Throw that thing
fucking
at Martinsville. Make it a
Hold
smash
on.
pass.
I didn't hit confirm. God dang it.
Leave
Where's
it
everybody want
there.
to run at?
Golly. All right. Before we have any more broadcasting time and all that other kind of crazy stuff, again, from the bottom of our hearts here at Goat Locker Racing, I can't say thanks enough. The journey to get here has been unbelievable, and it continues to get bigger and grow bigger and do some of the most amazing things. So, you guys are at the ground floor of it. I was happy the other day to pack up 35 packages and send them out. Wear that stuff with pride. Tell everybody about Go Locker Racing. Go follow the Above the Yellow Line with Taylor Kitchen. Be on the lookout. Goat Talk is turning into a podcast soon. Big Jamie Perkins, Big Jamie Barkus, and me, we're going to have some fun. There's going to be so much more news rolling out here over the next few weeks, guys, besides just racing. But thanks everybody that tuned in. Thanks everybody that shows up. I got a lot of love for you. But we'll sign off, Eddie.
Well, real quick, we're going to shout out Alex Cruz's OnlyFans account. Make sure you guys
Oh,
check him out
yep.
over there.
No.
I don't know
Alex
what kind of
Cruz
stuff you're going to
OnlyFans.
see,
Yep.
but
Yep.
you know, help the young man out.
He puts
Where's
out
my
great
shout
content.
out? I gotta
Just
make
set
my
up the
money
race and
back.
shut up.